Hey there, I'm going to show you how I just packed and lit this pipe that I'm smoking. All right, first let me note that I am using a ribbon cut tobacco. I've got some GLP Stratford here, and this is, one of the easiest types of tobacco to load. If you want to learn how to deal with flakes or cakes or plugs or coins, this is not the video for you. You should start with something simple. So we're going to assume that your tobacco is already broken up. That smells good, by the way. This first way I'm going to teach you is the way that I was taught. And this was taught to me by a wonderful man named Steve. He was an old guy that I met at the cigar lounge when I was only 18 years old. And he was like, I don't know, 70 or something. So he knew what he was talking about. Anyway, the way he described it to me was, first, you're going to fill your pipe, and you're just going to drop tobacco in and kind of, tap it to get it to fill. And normally, I'm not going to make as big a mess, but I'm trying to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. And you want to kind of fill it up to the top. And then he said, and I quote, "Poke it like you're poking a baby." His words, not mine. All right, so I gently poked it, right? And then you want to fill it again up to the top, and you can go a little bit over, right? And now, and again, I quote, "Poke it like you would poke a woman." I do not endorse poking anyone, let alone a woman, but a little bit firmer. And then finally, he said, fill it to the top, and you can see it's already pretty full. Fill it one more time, and then poke it as you would poke a man. So here you're going to apply a lot of pressure. I mean, you don't really want to apply a ton of pressure either way. And just like that, you are good to go. Now, much like a lot of things in life, you are going to get a feel for loading your pipe with time. And while that first example is exactly what I was taught, this is a shot of me loading my pipe without really thinking about it. And you'll notice that I fill it to the top not 3 times, but only twice. And this is not necessarily how I do it every time. It really depends on which pipe I'm using. Sometimes I'll do 2, sometimes I'll do 3, sometimes I'll even do 4 with a really big bowl, or if I take really small pinches. So you'll get a feel for it over time, and it'll become much like riding a bike or tying your shoes. So rest assured, you don't have to think about it every time. Now, regarding how I light my pipe, I simply take a soft flame lighter, and I don't try to shove it in there. I just hover the flame over the tobacco, and I draw in to pull the flame onto the tobacco. And I do this over and over again. You can see smoke's coming out because that's air coming out of my mouth as I breathe over and over. Now I said breathe, but I'm really just sucking that air in. I'm not breathing in the tobacco smoke. Don't do that. And that first light that I did is what's referred to as the char light, where you're trying to ideally char the entire top of your bowl of tobacco. And you're going to see in a second here that I actually screwed that up. There's a section over there that I did not char properly. But ideally, you're going to char the whole thing, and then you're going to tamp it down, which is what I'm doing right now. And as I tamp, I'm not really pushing hard. I'm just pushing down softly until I feel a little bit of resistance. So there you can see I'm pointing out I didn't get the full char light in, so I have to continue my char light. And then after this successful char light, that's when I'm going to tamp it down again and then go ahead and light it one more time. One other thing I should note here, you're going to notice that I am using a Zippo in this video, which some people have a problem with. Some people say that Zippo fuel affects the taste of their tobacco. I've never noticed a difference, and I like to use my Zippo from time to time. I also use just soft flame butane lighters, but just, if you want to yell at me in the comments, go for it. If you do taste something with a Zippo lighter, don't use a Zippo lighter, but I don't have a problem. All right, so getting back to it. Again, ideally, you get your char light, you flatten the top, and then you do one more light, and then you're good to go. In this case, I had 2 little char lights to get the whole thing lit, tamped it down, and at this point, I am good to go. And now I'm very nice and lit. Now, as you smoke, you're going to want to occasionally tamp. And I like to tamp as I'm puffing. Ideally, you should have a nice flat top at all times. That'll help insulate the ember and keep things lit. And when I'm tamping, I'm not pushing down. I'm just kind of dropping it down and letting it fall to where it naturally starts to give me some resistance. And that's how I light my tobacco pipes. And it works out pretty well for me. I do hope you found that useful. This is not normally the kind of video I put on this channel, but I've just been wanting to try more and do more with the channel. If that was helpful, if you enjoyed that, if this is something you want to see more of, and you have any ideas of other tutorial type videos, let me know. If you think this is a terrible idea, you don't want to see this kind of stuff on my channel, let me know. Regardless of how you feel, thanks for hanging out.